Now, since we're talking a little bit about NFL, we're gonna dive into it. One thing I know, my boy Josh Allen is happy about this NFL changer rule. So now both teams get a possession of the ball, but this is only for the playoffs. Okay, so now it's not going to be decided by the coin toss and who starts and who finishes. Each team gets the ball back if the other team scores. What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
I have a lot of thoughts. First off,
the viewers want to hear it. Let's go.
First off, I don't know if he's happy. He's probably sitting there like I would be. He'd be like, "Oh, now you make that decision? It takes me playing one of the best games ever, losing to Mahomes and the Chiefs for you to make this ruling. You couldn't have done this, 10 years ago." So I feel you. I'm sure he's happy to some degree, but at the end of the day, they probably feel like, hey, we could have won a Super Bowl. So that's unfortunate. And I know he's your boy. So, that was one of the most entertaining games that I've ever seen. So props to Josh for that incredible game. Now, number two, I've been kind of following this closely because, as you know, I grew up a Brett Favre fan. And in 2010, he was with the Vikings and they went into overtime with the Saints. And this was the winner of that game went to the Super Bowl to face your boy Peyton Manning and the Colts. And I was convinced that Vikings team was the best team in the league all year. But what happened was the Saints won a coin toss. There's a couple of real, ticky-tack penalties. Saints kicked the field goal. Went right to the Super Bowl. So back then, it was the field goal rule. Right after that, in March, they were like, no, we're going to change it to where you can score a touchdown, right? So then fast forward to 2015. Packers are back in the NFC Championship game. They're playing the Seahawks.
Seahawks,
yeah. And what happens? End of the game is madness, right? Wilson leads a touchdown drive, gets a 2-point conversion. Rodgers goes right down the field, ties the game. Seattle wins the toss, and then Russell throws 2 35-yard passes, and they go to the Super Bowl. Rodgers never touches the ball. They don't change the rule. And then in 2019, Mahomes and Brady are having an incredible battle. It's 31-all. They win the toss, New England. They go down the field. Mahomes never touches the ball.
Absolutely.
So now it took and these are just off the top of my dome. That's 3 games, and then now it's 4th one. That's 4 legendary games that could have been even greater if they just had the foresight to say, hey, why don't we just give both teams the balls? It's not that complicated. That's how I feel.
I'm with you on that. I think this is a long time coming. I'm a huge college football fan. So I've always been like, this is why I love college. This is why I love college, because personally, everybody should get a chance. A coin toss should not decide, the same way I think the Chiefs, in some fashion, I don't want to say lucky, but in some sense, had a little bit of luck with a coin toss because if Josh Allen gets this ball back, and AFC Championship might be Bengals and Bills instead, and that might be a whole different scenario because how I love my boy Josh Allen, I think it's a long time coming. The NFL needs this. I personally wish it comes down to, the whole season, not just the, postseason. Because, at the end of the day, it's still the same game just because it's a postseason and then regular season doesn't change it. It's not soccer and then it turns into football. It's both football, you understand? So I think we should try to, hopefully they push it to a point where it can get down to, the whole season, throughout the season and even preseason, let these guys play. No ties in the NFL. I stand for that.
Now
that should be the next. No ties.
Hey, one day. But listen, there are people out there that think, hey, listen, all the defense has to do is make one stop. And those are usually the defensive players, former defensive players that say that. And I understand their point. I respect that. But at the end of the day, those examples that I gave, there were Hall of Fame legendary quarterbacks all over there, okay?
Absolutely.
And Josh Allen. Just kidding. The thing is that they're all like, of course you want them to have the ball. You think the defensive players on Buffalo wanted to go out there? They wanted Josh Allen to have the ball. So like, that's what we have to realize. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you could try to make that argument, but nah, man, you want to put the ball in your offense's hands.
Well, it depends. If you have Jimmy Garoppolo, I say no.
Ooh,
personally. But hear me out. I think when it comes to the coin toss, when it's a do or die, I think you always got to put it in where you trust more. Like, for example, if the Saints are playing the Niners, you got to ask yourself, who's going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Drew Brees or Jameis Winston? If it's Winston, let's send the Niners D out there. If it's going to be Drew Brees, we'll take our chances on Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan's play calling. So I think that's where, it kind of came down to. But yeah, you're right. Most teams will probably bank on their offense, but there are certain teams that their defense give them a better chance. Their defense are, at a better advantage of stopping somebody's best offensive day than they putting up, like the Jets. I would trust the Jets each year on their defense. I don't know who's ever going to be, on offense for them, Unfortunately, I hope my team doesn't get like that because it would be sad. I mean, we're close with our quarterback situation, but we're not there yet today.
Yeah, I saw a new commercial with Jimmy GQ the other day. Did you see that one? I loved it.
What, Subway?
Yeah. Eat fresh.
Yeah. He's gonna be eating fresh somewhere else, not in the Bay.